I'm welcoming here another perspective on the conflict, the Russian invasion of Ukraine. In fact, Olga, who is with us, can bring us some interesting perspective on what Russians feel about the conflict. She does not live there right now, and I'll let her explain her story and her connections and her view from inside. And we've also got Dennis here from inside Ukraine, who's going to share with you his story of evacuation and taking his family to safety and what he's doing right now in Kyiv. So Olga is driving, and I'm going to give her a chance to explain her background and the organization that she's set up. So Olga, tell us about yourself. Where are you from, and where are you right now, and why are you driving?
Is it okay? Do you hear me?
Yes, it's fine.
What's about the sound?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Glad to see you. And first of all, I would like to say that sorry for my English. I've already forget my English and don't know Hebrew very well. So I'm in the medium between of these languages. And I would like to say hello to Denis, and please hold on. It will be okay. And we are with you with all our hearts, So yes, I'm here in Israel. I lived in Moscow. I'm from Moscow natively. And around 6 years and a half ago, we've repatriated to Israel with all our family from Moscow. Why? I would say like that all these years, Russian propaganda says and asks everybody, what have you been doing for all these 8 years? So me and my family, all these 8 years, from 2014, was thinking about somehow to resist to the propaganda, to Putin, to regime. And we were very upset with the situation in Ukraine, situation with Crimea. And our decision to leave Russia was connected with this situation, with these events. That's why we're here.
And when did you move to Israel then? How long has it been?
We moved 2015.
Okay.
So just 7 years ago, exactly in that moment when we knew about the killing of Boris Nemtsov, it was very close to the events with Ukraine. We decided that we can't even think about living in Russia. And the next day, we start moving to Israel. So Ukraine and Boris Nemtsov, it was two points that we decided to move and to not to connect our lives and the future of our family with this state.
Okay. And can you explain for people who aren't that familiar with Boris Nemtsov? I know he was a prominent politician from Russia. What were the circumstances around his death for those who aren't familiar with that episode? That was in 2015, right?
Yes, that's it. It was in the very end of February, the last day of February. He was a visionary. I can't say that he was only politic. He was a visionary, and he did really understand what will go on with our state, with our country, if we follow Putin. And he was a person who was brave enough to talk about it open. And that's why I think the things happened like it happened, unfortunately. And he was going to make big march on the 1st of March against Putin, and he was killed just the day before. nearby the Kremlin wall, the Kremlin just near, just a few steps nearby, and it was and everybody from my how I say, people who surround me, they understood what was going on, but I was too lucky enough to I have a way out because I'm Jew, and I know a lot of people that don't have any way, any idea how to move from Russia, and that's why now I can't even think about what they're feeling inside, and they can't discuss it between each other because they're very frightened.
Mm-hmm. So you've been out of Russia for a long time. What do they think about the war in Ukraine? You have friends and family. Are you able to speak to them? What is the unofficial perspective, because they can't say it publicly, of your friends and relatives in Russia?
You know, time passed, and some of my friends moved to another countries, and some of them stayed in Russia. And who are in Russia, people whom I know, they keep silence. I can't even disturb them on that point. I know that these days and tomorrow and the day after tomorrow, people who can do it, they move from Russia. Here in Israel, we welcome them right now. And right now, I'm on my way to Ben Gurion airport because my daughter is coming. And I know that tomorrow some people will come, and the day after tomorrow. After these days, there's no any flights, no any tickets to El Al. As how do you say? So no way to come here, no way. But what they think, I think in general, people, my friends, they understand everything, that it's impossible to do things like he does. I mean, Putin. They are against of not only of the war, they even against of policy, and they understand that this is the way to hell. But big part of them are working around governmental structures, and they can't change nothing. And they are really very afraid to lose their work, to lose their jobs, to lose not money. We're not that rich people, but we have something. And I think that they're really very frightened. What we did, and what I understand their opinion about us, they think that we are mad enough to leave everything in Moscow, to leave our flats, our houses, our cars, everything, our careers. My husband, Ilya, he's an architect. He is here. I'm a journalist and PR manager. I had my own PR agency in Moscow. We lived everything. We couldn't even think of being around or being nearby this process, you know.
Yeah.
But they keep in silence. I know it. Mm-hmm.
Do you have any insights?
The person, you know, this is very. Mm-hmm.
Sorry, go ahead. You were saying, go ahead.
This is very interesting story that's going on right now with my friend from Moscow, who was like, as we with her family was against of Putin and against of these things. She was invited for a business contract to work in Kyiv, and for 2 years. And now the situation is that she is a girl of about 40 years. She is pregnant with her third child, with 2 small children, and with her husband. She is living on the 15th floor in Kyiv. She is watching everything. She is a Russian with a Russian car, and she can't even move, you know, because she's very, very pregnant and she don't know what to do at all.
Yeah.
And she lived there alone with her family without any documents, because their documents are in embassy of Portugal. She wanted to go to Portugal to her mother, but now she's without passports, with two children, with a 8 months child inside, and with her husband. And she even can't go down to the how we would say, to the to the parking, to the safety place, you know.
To the bomb
And I'm
shelter.
talking to her. Yes, that's it, exactly. Now she's there. Yes, and I don't know what to do. How can I help her? She even can't go to the border. She even can't go out from Kyiv, because her husband is 43, and they are Russians, and they don't have any. I told, я сказал, and the car with the Russian numbers. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So the Russian license plates wouldn't be very good to drive on the roads right now.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So what's your friends in Russia or your family? How is the last week and a half, the economic situation, the banks? You said everyone's card stopped working. What's the situation like with people in the society related to the finances and the sanctions?
2 days ago, I understood that I have to buy the last tickets for my daughter from Moscow, and we were trying to do it in the night time. There was no tickets, and we clicked from time to time, each minute maybe it will be some new tickets for Elal board. And then when it came, we couldn't pay it with our Russian cards, because just exactly at that night, my friends paid 20 minutes ago, it was okay. They paid it with Sberbank, and 20 minutes later, I couldn't pay it. And I used my Israel card. So it works.
It works.
We can't
Meaning
use our Russian cards, Visa, and yeah, it works.
Yeah. And
my daughter says me that yesterday she was in the big department store in Moscow. The prices go twice or three times higher, and people even in there they close their eyes and they don't catch up eyes of each other, and they are buying everything produced out of Russia, produced abroad, everything.
yeah.
If you see in the supermarket oil produced in Russia and the same oil produced in, I don't know, Greece, they will take Greece. Everything produced abroad.
I guess they have to buy it while they can, because everything's going to be produced in Russia soon.
Yep.
Yes. What I see in my Facebook that connections with like girls from a high society, because my previous work was connected with it, because it was fashion and luxury. What I see, Sasha, what I see, they're posting videos how Zoom is closing. No Louis Vuitton, no Gucci, no Prada, and they're very, very upset, and they're crying with their big blue eyes about it. So they're very upset of it. Nothing about war, nothing about children in hospitals, nothing about tragedy.
So
It's
the
not my
closing of
friends,
the
but
foreign luxury, the closing of the foreign luxury brands is probably going to hurt a lot, because if that's causing a lot of, I'm sure, psychological trauma for people, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hi.
Hi, I'm sorry I'm late. It's
No,
really
sorry.
3 o'clock in the morning in Thailand, and my alarm didn't work. Like, the worst that could happen is just the alarm didn't work.
Well, Alexandra, you introduced us to Olga, and why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself, where you're from, and
Yeah.
your background.
Nice to meet you. Well, what I can say today, right? If it's a good evening, or you have an evening, right? Already
Evening.
have a night.
Yeah.
Yeah, my name is Alexandra. I was born and raised in Moscow, and I'm Russian. My grandma is Ukrainian. I mean, she died already, and but I still have a lot of friends and relatives in Ukraine, and they're still there. My aunt with her child, the same age as my own child. She stays in Kharkov still, well, for what I know. And my uncle, he's in Kyiv, also with his pregnant wife, defending Kyiv. My other uncle is with his family in Chernovtsi, so I would say my Ukrainian part of my family is trying to defend their country and to struggle with what is happening. And my other part of the family stays in Russia, in Moscow, and it's my father that is not he has not the same political views as I do, because for myself, I never supported Putin. I never voted for him. I never voted for his party. I tried to um, I tried to do something to change my country. Actually, I tried to do anything that I could, and after some point, after some level, when I understood that I have no power at all and I have no future for my kid, I just took my kid and I left the country 2 years ago. Before COVID happened, it was in October of 2019, and we moved to Thailand. And my ex-husband, all of her family, all of the family of my kid stays in Moscow. My own uncle that is still is disabled is in Moscow. Nobody cares about him there, and there's nobody there now except for me, and I'm trying to get him out of the country. And this is the biggest issue that the family like mine or similar to mine. It's a lot of families because it's all a big family. We have a lot of connections. We have a lot of relatives. We have a lot of friends. We have a lot of everyone. Kyiv, when I was 19, me and my friend, we just took a ticket and we were deciding whether we go to St. Petersburg or we go to Kyiv, just for, for the weekend. Like we take a train and like on Friday night, and for 2 weekends we have fun, we have good time, we just like to travel somewhere. We didn't have to have any passport, a special visa or anything. It was like a city of where we could go without any other explanation why we're there or who we are. And that was the greatest time in my life, frankly speaking. And now I cannot go there. Last time I was in Ukraine, it was 2 years ago. I don't speak Ukrainian. I mean, right now we all watch the Ukrainian TV, right? And I try to understand what they say. And I think I kind of understand already half of what is going on. I don't speak Ukrainian at all. And I've been in Chernovtsi. It's the western part of Ukraine. And they say that this part, like a lot of Banderov people, a lot of people, Nazi people, or they say this in Russia. They keep saying that if you go there, you're going to be attacked or anything. Nothing like that. I was there and nobody even told me anything. I always was speaking Russian, and nobody looked at me some way different, and it was fine. It was super fine, and the people were smiling all the time, and that's the major part, right? They're the same like Russian, but they smile all the time. I think Ola know what I mean. Right now, about the people who left in Russia, they're very different from what I can tell, because there are people who cannot leave Russia for some reason. For example, and they cannot struggle openly because, for example, they have mother or sister or any family that is, for example, disabled, or they cannot take care of themselves or something else. Any kind of circumstances that make you that they can threaten with, that you are not free, you cannot speak for yourself, you cannot speak what you think, you cannot do what you want. And a lot of people like that, they're stuck in Russia and they cannot do anything right now, right away. And I know these people personally, and I regret nothing can happen for them right away. There are also people who really support all of this, what is happening. I'm smiling because, this is like a protection thing. I cannot even, I've cried already all my eyes for 10 days. I don't know what to say. I don't think, it's really hard to explain my own father, who is not liberal at all that he can say, and it's his relatives. Through him, I have these relatives in Ukraine, and all that he can say, he's saying that, well, what we can do, and they don't have any option, any kind of plan what to do. They don't. They just sit and wait for something to happen. I read recently some articles about this classical Russian fatalism, when we think that somebody has decided something for us already, and we don't fight. We don't fight for our freedom. We don't fight for our rights. We don't fight for anything. And it's a lot of people like that. And it's really scary that the generation of my father, of the parents of a lot of my friends, actually, they keep saying me that. They keep calling me from all over the world, and they say, I cannot convince my dad, I can't convince my mom, I cannot talk to, I don't speak to my parents already, like for a while. And it's like a protection mechanism, like they've been taught in school that someday the war will come, and they cannot do anything. That's how they're taught, that they have no power to decide, and they live with this, and they continue living with this. And it's crazy. It's really crazy. Maybe you have some questions. I'm talking. I'm sorry.
Well, have you spoken to your friends?
May I?
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I just wanted to add to Sasha very black words, what I think right now. My mother, she is from Odessa. Every summer when I was small girl, I was in Odessa and in Tiraspol, two close cities, one in Ukraine, one in Prидnestrovye right now. But Odessa is much more closer to me. And my mother has died in 13. And now I wrote in my Facebook, thanks God she has died before, and she doesn't see what's going on with her place, with her town, with her city, with her motherhood. That's it.
And she's from there originally, or just like to visit there a lot?
No, she's from
Mama?
the original.
No, she's from original. Yes, there she was. Yes,
Originally from- okay.
her parents from Odessa. Yes, I'm part of me from Odessa. Yes, my father from Moscow and mother from Odessa.
You know, half of the Russia, they laugh of the jokes of Odessa. It's so much connected, everything. It's like
Our,
I don't know. It's like Canada
The best
and US.
comedy,
Yes,
best
and-
comedy comes from Odessa for sure. They have the best sense of humor.
Sure.
Oh.
one more story. You know, very interesting. My closest friends from Odessa too. Now they are in Odessa, and their elder son, he is in Israel. He studies here in very nice boarding school, and he is like my stepson. He is coming to us each Shabbat, and I'm in connection with his family, Dina and Igor, and now they're defending their Odessa. And you know what? 2 weeks ago, they called me and told me that we're going to visit Israel in secret. We're going to come secret on Purim holiday. We will pick up David from the school and come to your place to stay with you on Purim. It was 2 weeks ago. It was a big secret for David, for his son. And we were looking for them, waiting for them. We were preparing. They will come to Purim and we will celebrate all together. And when I understood and find out that the war has started on the 24th of February, first thing that I wrote, I messaged to Dina. Dina, maybe you will change your tickets and come right now. We have a big house here. You can be here. And Dina answered me, Oля, I'm sorry. Fuck you, Putin. We're defending our house. We're defending our land. We're staying here.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah, let me share, guys. I thank you for your stories. It's really I like it. You know, I'm kind of really not convenient person for Russian propaganda at all, because I was born in Russia, and it was in 1985. We moved to Ukraine, and I spent 9 years living in eastern region, Luganska Oblast, Lugansk district. Yeah, it's now it's so-called Lugansk National Republic. So I spent 9 years here, and we moved. I moved to Kyiv in 2002, totally Russian speaking, without any understanding of Ukrainian, because I didn't have any opportunities to learn it, despite I was living in Ukraine. No Ukrainian schools, no Ukrainian classes, only one Ukrainian lesson per 1 week. So it was a challenge to me to enter the university, but it was successful. And after that, now I have a Ukrainian speaking wife. Our children, they are speaking Russian and Ukrainian as well, and English. And I before the war, I was working for really big IT company with international team. In my team, I'm business analyst team lead. We have guys from India, from Latvia, from Ukraine, from Spain, from the USA, and from Russia. A lot of Russians I have in my team. And you know, maybe my parents, but I always believed that it's okay to cooperate with Russians. I still have a lot of friends, my partners, my colleagues, and they are adequate. We traveling together. We visit the USA, Belgium. I visit Alaska, and this T-shirt, this is from Alaska. It was presented by Bill Miller, the captain of Anchorage Police. Yeah. So, and you know, I was in this information bubble. Even when my wife, she wake me like 24th February in the very morning when all this war begins, I thought it was a joke. I said, it's not impossible. Just go sleep. It's fake. But she like explained me and displayed the news, and I was shocked. After that, it was 22 hours by driving. I grabbed my family, all our things, my cat, Murka. It was her first travel in her life from Ukraine, from Kyiv, not from Kyiv, from our flat originally. She's really home kitty, you know. So I evacuated them to Svalyava. It's Zakarpatsky region. It's like Western Ukraine, like before Carpathian, after Carpathian mountains. I believe it's like a safe place. And after that, I returned to Kyiv. Now I'm in Kyiv, and I don't know, maybe you can hear it, but I hear explosions because our artillery working, and it's really loud, you know.
Yeah.
Because
Right
they
now?
right now, yeah, I hear it right now. They Russians near Konchazaspa. It's like I think
Вот парень из Киева.
two
Он говорит, что прямо сейчас,
kilometers.
прямо сейчас я слышу взрывы.
Yeah, but Olga, it's okay. It's not explosion. Sorry, it's like our artillery working.
Distant.
It's Ukrainian artillery. It's okay. Yeah,
to
because
defend, but still, you know.
I like to
Okay.
hear the sound. You know, I like it because my friends they
But you hear the sounds of war.
Yeah, I always hear it. You know, there are a lot of sirens, a lot of explosions, and and a lot of blockposts, a lot of guys with weapon. So when I visit Kyiv, I go to I don't know how it's called in English, military office. Yeah, военкомат it's called. So it was 9 a.m., but it was a lot of people, and every of these people they have some military specialization, and I never I like shooting, but like you know, it's like dramatic stuff. It's like strike ball, paintball. I like it, but it's like a game, and they say, "Guy, you need please go to your home and find job." So I go to another place. It's called territorial defense, Teroborona, and they say it's the same. Yeah, I felt myself totally useless because nobody wants to give me some weapon. So okay, I find this guys. It's volunteers Elohim, and I'm like I said, I'm business analyst and working in IT and like manager. I have big team, so I'm good in organization. Like optimizing processes. Now we have, I think, quite important processes to gather all humanitarian food, medicine, clothes, and distribute it to people who need. Yeah, because now in Kyiv, you know, it really problem even with cooking, because every time when people hear this siren, they go to the shelter and they don't even cook the meal. And I have the funny story. My friend, she's starting cooking rice or porridge of in her this multi stuff. No, and she's running to shelter.
Multi-process.
Yes, and when siren is gone, she returning to and turned off this stuff and it. So it's crazy, I know, but it's we are living. You know, when I first time heard this siren, I was shocked. I was really. It was a panic. I hadn't breathed even. I just find the this background and just sit and I didn't know what to do, and people
It's very
they
scary.
yeah, people help me, but now I'm okay. Yesterday was working on railway on Kyiv railway station. It was it was a lot of food from Lviv, and we were hearing this siren and just keep walking because we adopted, yeah, and. So that's the story, you know, and now I only hope that they will not capture Kyiv because we have, I think, like a man, yeah, I will do everything to defend my city because I was born in Russia, okay. I was living in the separatist Lugansk region. But I love my city. I love Kyiv because I graduated here. I met in Kyiv my wife and my children. They were born in Kyiv. So I don't want to run. You know, I now understand that my family are in safety. So I think I need to stay with my friends.
Yeah.
But I hope that Kyiv will stand, and I will become again IT business analyst because I like my job, and now I understand it.
Can I add something to your words? Actually, no one wants the war. Even the ones, even the people who I was speaking about, the ones that like they don't know what to do, you know, or something else. Most of them, they say no, but we don't want a war. You know, what is war? Nobody wants a war. It's like a genetic. We don't like the war. We don't want the war. But yeah, well, what we can do, and I'm in a way, you know, there is a 1/3 of me, for example, is Ukrainian, right? Blood, if you can count this way, of course, and two-thirds are Russian. And in a way, I'm proud of citizens that stay in Ukraine and try to defend their country. Because if I were on their place, I would do exactly the same. And I know people from Thailand now, they buy tickets, they go back to Ukraine, they try to defend their country. And I hope you will. I hope you will fight, and you will you're really gonna win, because like my aunt, for example, she used to, before the war, she used to have a restaurant in Kharkov, and it's been pretty much popular. It was mostly a bar, but a big one, and now she, well, at least 2 days ago, I don't know, I cannot reach her now for 2 days already, but she can read my messages. That's inspiring a little bit, that she's alive, and I hope they're fine. But she was cooking food for the ones who were staying in underground and in hospitals. And the other uncle is with a weapon in Kyiv, and his wife is pregnant, is almost giving birth to their kid. And of course, he's defending his city. Of course, how you cannot? It's just, you cannot not to, you know? And here in Thailand, what I can say, people are trying, I know in Israel, there are a lot of organizations and people who are trying to help, and they gather things. I know Oля, for example, herself, she was gathering some stuff and some medicine or some clothes or something else. And in Thailand, we don't have this possibility. We don't have organizations for now, but we gather ourselves. For example, on Saturday, we do art market for the local people, and we show them all together, Russians and Ukrainian people. We do the art market, and we get some money, and we send them to Ukraine. And we'll do this on Saturday. This Saturday, I hope it will be, you know, like the war will be over by this time. I do hope so much. It will be peace. And about the question, there is a question in from someone who listens to us, whether we can do the revolution or something, right? If you don't mind, I can answer that. I think this is not the first possibility, because it is a possibility still, but there is a Russian businessman that lives now in London. He's against Putin for a long time, and his name is Chichvarkin, Yevgeny Chichvarkin. And he said one thing that I liked very much. He said that, yeah, all the things that Europe and US do about the sanctions and trying to get the economy go down to let people understand what is happening, it all is very, very good, but it will work in 3 or even 6 months, because people do not understand. The major part they don't understand yet. They don't see this in their own wallets. They don't understand these circumstances. They don't see how it goes. They don't understand. So yeah, this is possible, but we need to wait much longer. It's my opinion, of course. But the most the thing that can happen, that people next to Putin, they can do something right away, right now. I don't know. Maybe there is some hero there. We all hope. We pray every day. I don't know what to do else. I really don't know.
Well, Dennis, I really admire your organizational ability. I know as an IT company owner how important a business analyst is, how rare that skill is. I wish I would have found you before the war. Maybe we can talk to you afterwards. My co-founder would definitely love to talk to you, the chief product officer. But Dennis, actually, I have a group for supplies, and would love to work with you on that. If you want to message me, and you could help organize. A bunch of people have just come together and are trying to get medical humanitarian supplies from Poland across the border. And if we have someone in Kiev, you know, every show I do, something organic happens. Like, you're in Kiev and you have this great organizational abilities. It'd be great to connect you with our contacts in Lviv, who are connected with our contacts in Poland, and even I have Americans who are shipping stuff over from my network to Ukraine, or to Poland to Ukraine. So we're just, there's this organic worldwide kind of community forming to supply everyone with what they need. So I'd love to loop you into that. And if anyone's watching this show and you enjoy the material we're giving out, our one thing that we ask you to do is consider donating to what we've created, which is a campaign to help refugees inside of Ukraine, like Dennis's family, internal refugees, or people who are trying to leave Ukraine. And we help families get across the border, facilitate that for, let's say someone like Dennis wanted his family to leave Ukraine, we would help them do that. Or people that want to get to a safe space in Western Ukraine, we're doing that, and we're trying to facilitate bringing in supplies also. So that's what we do at the Borderlands Foundation. We're turning it into a nonprofit legally as we speak in both Europe and in the United States, and that's what we're raising money for. And Olga, tell us a little bit about your organization and what you're doing for any of those who are watching, your friends, if you want to share this with your network, you know, how they can help if they're in Israel.
Yeah, thank you,
It's
Sam.
not mine
Thank you so much.
organization. It's a good.
Go ahead, Olga.
Go on, Dennis.
Okay. I just want, I want to say thank you, our neighbors and everyone who donate and support Ukraine, because now we really need it. And yesterday it was a lot of packages from Germany with this German language and duplicated by Ukraine, and we was trying to read it throughout. It's not easy, but it's really, when people ask you some toothpaste on, or or some medicine and you don't have it, and you say sorry, I don't have it, and they are really upset about it because they're in danger and they don't have even like elementary stuff. When we have this help from our neighbors, from another city of Ukrainians, from another countries, especially like Poland, we have a lot of Poland stuff, Germany, Hungary, Latvia, and it really helps people to survive and to keep this good mood. Maybe not good, but okay, normal mood.
Yeah. Well, Dennis, I look forward to working with you to get it organized inside Kyiv if you're staying, and that's one of your roles. It's great to have you there, and we could definitely connect you on that. And also, Dennis, if you know anyone in Kyiv who's going west, our organization helps people once they get there, get across the border, send them to our site. We help them free of charge, get out of the country and get connected with people who want to take them in. So we're setting up this. And if you're watching this, you're outside the country, you want to offer help, you can register. Hey, I want to help with a home or any kind of not just monetary donation, but any other type of help you want to provide. So I really love the way this is coming together inside the people who watch this and the community that's forming around the Borderlands. So
the funny part, I'm sorry, Sam, I'm going to interrupt you just for 1 second. The funny part, if you can say this, something is funny now, that a lot of people all around the world, they are feeling united in a way, in a bad way. I mean, the reason is bad, but they feel really united. And nowadays, a lot of people, they feel that they need support and they feel lonely. And that's why we try to unite and we try to do something. Anything that we can do, anyone that can do just a little bit, just something, it's already helping. It's helping out to feel yourself not useless and to be a part of this big thing. Because I know that Ukraine now, as no one else, needs our support for sure.
Yeah. Well, I think what I've seen in life as a U.S. Army soldier and just in all instances of life where I've seen tough times is the worst times brings out the best in humanity when that's their character. And it brings out the worst in humanity when that's their character. And you're seeing people all the way from President Putin all the way down to ordinary Ukrainians reveal themselves and their true character. And hopefully I know from talking to them, there's a lot of good Russians with good character around that will do their part and rise up, and hopefully that will come out. And I have more confidence and faith speaking to both of you. And thank you for speaking up, Alexandra and Olga, on behalf of Russia's. There's a lot of great people, unfortunately, caught in a really tough situation, and we hope that they can endure also, because it's tough. But the world's uniting around Ukraine, most of them, not everyone, but also thank you for sharing your perspective. I know it's hard.
Thank you for giving these opportunities.
Thank you for yes.
I haven't seen my friend Ola for such a long time. It's I know this is not the good thing to say right now, but I miss her very much. And we've been working in Russia for some period of time together. And
I miss you too, my dear. I miss you too.
It's really
Sasha,
thanks
it's
to
very right. It's right opportunity to see each other right now.
Yeah. In a way, all my friends are around the world now. They're not in Russia, most of them.
Yeah, Alexander, now it's a really strange situation. I met a lot of people who I didn't met a long time. It's my ex group mates from university. Yeah, friends from school. We have even precedents when ex-wife and ex-husband, they meet each other again, because now we are like Sam said, we are really focused on survival and to stand to win this war. Maybe not. I don't sure about win, but all we need just like stand, survive, and defend our borders. Yeah, and we really hope that like adequate democratic countries will help us, because we are doing everything we can, and we have this really clear goals in our mind, and all these people are focused, and we speak to each other, and it's really funny story, guys. I want to share it. It's just example. I have my neighbor Vladimir. He's I like I said to you, I have two children, and they're really noisy. They're like to run, like to play. And Vladimir, he is living below. Yeah,
You can hear everything, right?
we had a lot of this, quarrels. We even fight each other once time. But now, yesterday, I spent 3 hours to find ammunition for Vladimir. He needs this. He has some specialty, and he's going to join the army when he evacuate his family, 2 cats and one wife to Lviv. And I just forget and forgive all these problems with him. Now we are united. Now we are Ukrainians, and I want to help Vladimir because he's going to defend me. And this is in all society.
There is no COVID anymore, for example, or
yeah,
anything, right? Nothing.
Yeah, no
He cured
COVID
everything.
anymore. Yeah.
Interesting.
I have this bad joke, I think, because I really afraid about COVID because it kills, but Russian artillery kills faster. So we are not. Yeah, we are not thinking about COVID. Yeah.
Yeah,
that's true.
Well, look, I just I wanted to acknowledge all of you for coming on, and Dennis actually for coming on at the last minute as someone who really fits into this theme, which is people from Russia who are uniting behind a principle, really, that Ukrainians and anyone, and Russians too, actually deserve to be free. But unfortunately, Ukraine is where you can express that, not in Russia right now. And we hope that this will, Ukraine has always been, I think, an example and an inspiration to people in Russia of what's possible in terms of freedom and all the literature that came out of Ukrainian authors.
My dad used to say, Sasha, you have a part of the family that is really proud of themselves and really free inside, and you have also this kind of blood, so you have to know your roots and etc. And that was when I was about 10, maybe 12 years old, and I still remember that. And he said that Ukrainian people, they're just like us, but they fight for themselves. And I'm like, good example. We have to take this example as soon as possible. That's why I'm telling to my friends, to my not friends, to anybody I can meet. I'm doing this, but for now, it's not there yet. Too bad.
All right. Well, thanks all of you. I'm going to end just as I always do in the show. My fiance and show producer puts together a quick summary of the news, the tweets, and I'll let you guys stay on as I do this, because I think it's important to just show the progress or what's going on in the conflict at a high level. And first of all, there's rumors, which probably doesn't help for this man if he is going to lead a coup. The defense chief of Russia, Shoigu, says apparently Putin fears that there will be a coup attempt, and there's growing distance, I guess even longer tables between himself and his advisors. I don't know how much you can get a longer table than they've already showed.
Russia's
so
big,
anyway,
you can do big tables, you know, long tables.
yeah. And tomorrow, tomorrow the European Union will table proposals on how to quickly get rid of our dependency on Russian fossil fuels, diversifying suppliers, switching to liquid LNG and pipeline gas, and repowering the EU by investing in renewables. Couldn't probably happen soon enough. And interesting proposal by Russia during the peace right now is they said that they would settle for recognition for Crimea, and then they're apparently dropping demands of a demilitarized and denazified Ukraine, which would imply that they're probably not going to achieve some of their original war aims of having political influence in Ukraine, or even getting it free of weapons. So it looks like Russia is losing their negotiating power in the current negotiations, and that's what analysts are saying right now. And this is just Ukrainian people continuing to go out and protest against armed Russian soldiers on the streets. And the first volunteers from Great Britain, half of my blood or half my family comes from here.
I'm from England, and basically we're here to help stop the invasion of Ukraine. No, we'll win.
Oh, yeah. I'll do that with like made on CNN. Yeah. Walk into the broadcast.
Most of us are ex-military, so we're all very well trained. And the motivation is obviously the war crimes that are being committed shouldn't be committed. You know, it's bombing civilian targets, executing civilians, raping females. It shouldn't happen, and it needs to be stopped.
Long live Ukraine.
This is the first of 20,000 volunteers that have registered from all over the world, 52 countries, on their way into Ukraine, and some of them are already seeing action on the front lines. Ukrainian women sending a message.
Мы женщины Украины. Мы благословили наших мужчин на защиту нашей земли. Мы уже вывезли наших детей в безопасное место, где фронт нашей нации защищен. Мы присоединяемся к мужчинам и украинской армии. Мы будем уничтожать врага на каждом сантиметре украинской земли, в каждом нашем городе, в каждом селе, в лесу и в поле. За каждого ребенка, женщину, старика, разрушенный дом, улицу, даже сарай. Мы будем вас отстреливать, как бешеных собак. Слава Украине! Смерть ворогам!
And
колісники. Скільки? Раз, два, три, чотири.
6 destroyed Russian fuel trucks doesn't help the supplies. Pasha Lee, a Ukrainian actor, was killed in combat right outside of Kyiv in Irpin. And this is just along, I think, the historic low for the Russian ruble exchange rate. And as you said, the luxury brands leaving Russia, which is the,
Yeah, it's not
I
only
guess,
luxury
causing.
brands, it's a lot of other brands as well. And I think the thing that would help is when we don't have enough food for people, then
Yeah.
they will raise. It seems like that. Not Louis Vuitton will help the situation out, but yeah, of course, it's
It's the shopping mall in Kherson right now.
Русский мир, блядь, наяву.
And this is Nikolaev, the aftermath of an attack in the southern city near Odessa.
you know when it was they don't show this on TV at all, like completely, but the pictures are very similar to what we can find in Russia as well. I mean, the buildings, the streets, the nature, people, cars, everything is exactly like we have the same things in Russia. And when you see it's destroyed by bombs, it's I don't know.
It's like
I
my
don't know.
Teplistan in Moscow. It's like
like
my
everyone's,
Shablovka in Moscow.
that's
Yes,
true.
it's like my districts, my
Дверь на
neighborhoods
балкон
in
вынесла вообще в
Moscow.
этой комнате. Здесь не осталось.
It's like
It's
you're
something
fighting
unbelievable.
yourself. And this is the evacuation of civilians and journalists under fire in Irpin.
Давайте. Бегом, ближе к зданию.
Влево понад зданием. Влево понад зданием. Давай. Все?
Well, thank you, everyone. And thank you, Sasha, for joining us, Alexandra, Dennis. Great to connect with all of you. And I really appreciate you sharing. I know this is hard, but I think it's important.
Thank you.
Thank you, Samuel, for inviting.
Dennis,
I think-
look forward to talking to you more about how we can work together on keeping Kyiv supplied.
Thank you.
I think Olga is disconnected also because she's meeting her daughter. I don't know if she said she's
Yeah,
meeting
her
from
daughter's flying in
flight.
from Moscow. One of the last planes out of Moscow before it goes back to the days of the Mongol invasion or something. So,
Yeah.
That's true.
all right. Well, thank you everyone for joining. Again,
Thank you.
donate to the GoFundMe if you'd like to support the Borderlands Foundation as we keep building out this network of taking care of people inside and outside of Ukraine. So thank you very much for another show, and share the site if you know anyone who needs help inside the country. Thank you.
Slava Ukraini.